episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. This is the episode that I've been waiting for quite a while. The episode where I can finally build my mob farm, get a stable source of rotten flesh for clerics, bones for bone meal, gunpowder for fireworks. The time hath come. The time hath come to finally fill out this entire space. First step, replace the entire floor with dark oak. After that, it's just a matter of building up the entire mob farm bit by bit. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna take a while. But it will be done. So I'm gonna get started. And I'll be right back. Now that is a nice sight to see. It's also about a dozen dark oak trees in a couple hours of my life that I'll never get back. I was not expecting this to be as much work as it was, but man, if it does not look so nice, so clean. Oh. That's what kind of bothers me, that that's off center, but what can you do? Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, this took a bit, but it's good that it's done, because now the real work can begin. I need to find a YouTube tutorial and build a better mob farm, because the one I made in the last season did not work that well. So I'm gonna try and find one that's just really efficient. Whoever's design I use will be linked in the comments or in the description. And yeah, honestly I'm just gonna crack on and build it, because I've already spent a lot of time working, so I might as well just finish what I started and show it off. It's kind of hard to see, but it's this massive brick here. That's the mob farm. I made it based off of a variation that I made of Voltrox's farm, and I'll make sure to post the link to his video in the description. But I made my own kind of variation, my own changes to it. But the one thing I will say is this farm is even-centered. Most farms are. I didn't think about that when I was building this, because this tower is odd-centered. So, in order to make this look normal, I'm gonna have to build up an extra layer of stuff in places to make it look like it's the right size, to make it look like it's on an odd center, while the farm is actually just kind of inside it. And all this redstone will be covered up, and it'll look better. But it is actually done, and it's got two different modes. Right now it's just set to auto kill, and yeah, I literally just finished it, and as you can see, it is working. But you can also flip this lever, flip up these trapdoors, and set it to manual for XP and stuff. But you gotta make sure you flip those trapdoors down before you do that, otherwise you're gonna be in a spot of trouble. But yeah, so it works. It does work. And my goal now is to just make it look better. I actually might stay in here for a bit, do a bit of AFKing. But yeah, I'm gonna try and encase this whole thing in an extra layer to make it properly centered. And I'll be back when that is finished. I know you can't really see the actual block of the mob farm itself, but it is just that now. It is much more of a block than it was, since I had to make little extensions to everything to make this nice and centered. I said I was going to AFK at it, but I didn't. I just let it run while I was building, but of course building lowered the rates, since since I was within proximity and therefore stuff couldn't spawn. So I will AFK at it later. But it has still been spawning stuff. And yeah, it's centered now. It doesn't look centered though, unless you're at this angle, since this door frame's not centered. And the reason this bottom bit is still exposed is because I wanted to make a staircase leading up to that, and I didn't want to do that until that the rest of the staircase was finished. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just finish the interior, what I wanted, with the big old staircase, and then I'll build into this, and then I'll figure out some sort of decoration that makes it so I don't just have torch spam everywhere. And then this interior will actually be fully finished. So yeah, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna finish that now, and hopefully it'll look a lot better than it does currently. This was a surprisingly ridiculous amount of work. Like, it actually took so unbelievably long to get everything done. And yeah, as you can see, there's literally nothing on the ground. Not even really any decorating the walls or anything. I decided that this is where I'm going to cut it off as far as the building goes, because it took so many resources, so many trips back to the mines, a lot of work, and a lot of time. I'm actually out of time. I couldn't do anything more if I wanted to. But I did get what I needed done finished, and I think it actually looks very, very good. I've got this nice little platform here that leads all the way up to the nice and centered-ish mob farm. And then I've got this little pathway back here, down at the chest, the lever, and then it comes all the way around to the other chest. And then I organized it into the 4 barrels for the 4 main drops. There are still other drops though, because I know I've killed a witch in here. And there must have been like a chicken jockey that spawned because there's some raw chicken in there. And but that's fine, that can all stay in the chests. But yeah, and then I moved the shulker boxes from underneath it to over here because I made it into a solid structure to disguise the redstone, since the redstone was visibly off-center. Though unfortunately it is still kind of visible in this wall. But there's only so much I can do about that, and it's still visible right there. And it doesn't look very centered because obviously it's not, but that's as centered as I could make it look. And then I've got this nice big winding pathway going all the way from the bottom here, all the way to the very tippy top. These turns were kind of hard to do, but I did them. And then yeah, building up the railing up to the wall, up to the platform, kind of like I did in the other tower. That was the big time-consuming thing, because this gets very tall, and then it all kind of tapers off into a smaller staircase up here, and I had to taper it off because otherwise it would have infringed on the big tower. And then I got this just little elevated area. Kind of looks weird right here, but not much I could do about that. And then another thing I did was I went around the entire inner ring and inverted the kind of structure that I have on the outside with the arches and stuff, which is actually very difficult to see in the darkness. And I don't know how with YouTube compression, if it'll even be visible. How much light does a flame arrow provide? None. Okay, well, it was worth a shot. But yeah, that also took a lot of the work because I had to get up there. I don't have a lot of scaffolding. It was a pain. I should have just made more scaffolding and made a big ring, but I didn't. And then another thing I did was down below here, I made this into like a little archway to show that it's supported. And I was initially going to do a lantern in every one, but I had to alternate because of how it's designed. This one has some slabbage exposed when the others don't. So yeah, I had to improvise that. So as long as you don't go through this one and look up, it's fine. Actually, as long as you don't look at it at all, because it is quite visible. But I'm really glad I did that because A, it saved on a lot of resources, I think. Yeah, it definitely did. but it also, I think it looks cool. I kind of wish I'd done that everywhere else, because that would have saved on a lot of resources and a lot of time. But yeah, and then this is all still nice and lit up on the inside, so nothing spawns in here. So it's not going to lower the rates of the mob farm at all. But yeah, anything else I decide that I need to build, I can build later. And it's not like I don't have plenty of space. If I decide there's something I need to build, I can definitely build it in here. There's plenty of space down here, but it's just no more interior will be done with this now, because yeah, that was a lot of work, but I think it definitely paid off. I think this looks really nice, and it's functional now. That is the big thing. It's functional now. I have a source of gunpowder, bones, arrows, and rotten flesh, so I can get some clerics going, get some trays going with clerics. I can get infinite bone meal for a farm. I don't really need arrows, but you never know. If I decide to switch to a mending bow, it'll be good to have arrows. And then gunpowder for TNT and fireworks and such. That'll be really good. So yeah, this is a very, very helpful build. And I'm glad I took the time to do it. I know it took an extra week, but part of that was because I was busy. Sorry, I had to pause there for a second. I was actually about to conclude. Yeah, that is actually all I have time for today. Thank you so much for watching this rather busy episode of Minecraft Mediumcore, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.